What's good, my me? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing lit. I already know what time it is. Now, let's go. Now, guys, I'm sorry. I know I've been gone for a while. I was on holiday. I was in Mexico. I was living it up with the Latinas. I'm not gonna lie. My future wife is Latina, trust and believe. But I'm back in the UK now, and I'm back. I'm ready to give you guys some content. Pause. Now, guys, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the latest track released by Young T and Bugsey, in which they proclaim that they received no money for their song Don't Rush. I'm going to break this down in way more detail, but you know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe, just up to him, drop a banger like this one, and hit that noty because you're in the knees. You'll be the first to know when one of these videos comes out. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, UK rap duo Young T and Bugsey recently returned from a long, almost 2-year hiatus with a comeback song titled Been a Minute. And let me tell you, it has definitely been a minute because I believe the last time they dropped a song was in 2022 with their album Truth Be Told. Now, the Been a Minute song itself is alright. I mean, it's not something I listen to on a regular basis or any basis, to be honest, no disrespect to them, but I can at least appreciate that they tried to switch up their sound and tried to give us more rapping as opposed to their traditional melodic flows that we've become accustomed to from. However, in this song, they actually dropped a couple of bombshells, and one of these shells was in this particular line in regards to the song Don't Rush, where they said, and I quote, "Have you ever had a song go worldwide and not even seen a penny nor crumb off a peanut?"
What'd you say?
Now, of course, we can only assume he's referencing the smash hit Don't Rush, which really went global, even charted on the Billboard Hot 100, thanks to the Don't Rush challenge completely taking over the internet during lockdown. Which I'm sure you remember, you know, the challenge where all the girls, they went from looking like, I don't know, like a hobo to looking like a runway model. It was crazy. Now, although this may seem like a throwaway line, I really have to put into perspective how egregious it is to not have been paid from a smash hit like Don't Rush. This song is gold in Canada, gold in France, Switzerland, and the United States, and it is platinum in the UK and Portugal. It went top 20 in the UK, nearly went top 50 in the US, and it went #1 in Turkey. So you can already tell that's a crazy amount of money that they're missing out on from charts alone. And if we look at the other metrics such as streaming, well, Spotify pays their artists around $0.003 to $0.005 per stream. So let's say we multiplied 0.003 by the current streams that Don't Rush has on Spotify, it equals 619,000. And then if we do that same metric and we include the remix of the Don't Rush song with DaBaby, that equals 351,000. That's almost $1 million that this song has made from Spotify alone. And if we want to add further insult to injury, it looks like Apple Music pays between $0.006 and $0.007 per stream. And if we assume that the Don't Rush song got a similar amount of streams to what it got on Spotify, maybe it's a couple million less or a couple million more, but it's probably roughly going to be around the same, then yeah, you times the money from Spotify by 2, and you're basically looking at over $2 million that Don't Rush made that these guys did not see a penny off of. And that's just from streaming alone. That is absolutely abysmal. Now, the question that's probably on your mind is, how on earth is this even possible? How can you be in the music business and not be getting paid for your music? That don't make no sense. And the way I see it, there's 2 ways that this could have happened. Number 1 is that Young T and Bugsey, they signed one of those Kunta Kinte slavery contracts. They signed their contract in 2016. They were probably young, probably teenagers, and they probably didn't read the contract properly. And the contract must have stated that they would be taking all the money from their music, but that they would make their money through other means, like through brand deals or through touring or through one-off shows, club appearances, things of that nature, which I guess would make sense when you're a young kid from London. You're not really thinking that your song is going to go global and it's going to be getting played in America and things like that. So you'd be like, yeah, cool, I guess, yeah, I'll release a couple songs on YouTube. They do well. I go perform them in the club and make money. It sounds like a fair deal. And that could be what they meant by the line, "My lawyer didn't tell me that ancillaries are penal," which, if you don't know, is a reference to ancillary revenue, which is revenue that differs from the main source of revenue of a company, for example. So if we extrapolated that definition and placed it on this situation, he could be saying that his lawyer didn't tell him that, you know, getting your money from other revenue sources other than music is actually punishment, which, you know, well, that's what we meant by the term penal, for like, you know, you're getting penalized. Pause, no Diddy. And of course, this does make sense because Young T and Bugsy's song Don't Rush really blew up over COVID. So if they did sign a deal where the majority of their money would be ancillary through, you know, touring and one-off shows and whatnot, it wouldn't have even been possible for them to see that money because we were all in lockdown. All the clubs were closed. No one was doing shows. Festivals were shut down. So the time where they really could have cashed in on having the biggest song of their career, they weren't able to do so. But the label was laughing. I mean, everyone was at home. Everyone was making TikToks to the song. The song was getting more popular, getting more viral, getting more sales. People were adding it to as their ringtone. And the label was just eating it up and just making the money. And they're thinking, well, I mean, we didn't predict that COVID was going to happen. In a regular circumstance, you would have been able to go tour with this song and keep making money. So the label basically got the perfect finesse from them in that aspect, if this is indeed why they're not getting paid for this music. Now, the second option would be that they haven't recouped their original deal that they signed, which I think is the less likely option because I'm not gonna lie, Young T and Bugsey, as I said, they signed to their label in 2016 and they've been putting out some major hits over the years. They had I Caramba with Fredo, they had Princess Cuts with Heady One, they had Striker Pose with H, and some of these songs are platinum, double platinum, top 10, top 20 UK hits. So I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't have recouped that original 2016 deal, unless they gave them some sort of crazy advance like 2 million or 3 million or something crazy like that, which again, in 2016, with the level of artistry that they were at that point, would have been very unlikely. But either way, it looks like they're back now and they're off the label and they're currently independent. So we'll have to wait and see if they can still garner the same level of attention and pull the same numbers on their hits that they did prior to being independent. And I hope that they can continue to grow and excel, but I do want to make the point for all future artists looking to sign a deal, please ensure that you read the contract thoroughly. Then get a lawyer to read the contract thoroughly as well, to make sure that they haven't put in any, you know, sneaky ways to F you over. And finally, do not sign any contract until you have leverage, until you form multiple hits, you've had multiple bits of momentum and motion on your own. Do not sign anything. You want to walk into these meetings with labels with negotiating power. Like him or hate him, Trump said it best himself in The Art of the Deal. If you don't have the power to walk away, then you have lost the negotiation. And a lot of you young guys and girls out there, you get one hit, it pops off on TikTok, and then you let the label famoosh you, and then we don't hear from you ever again. And I don't want that to happen to you guys, so because you're setting yourself up for eternal slavery, and it's not looking good, bro. But in the words of Heady One,
it's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know if you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about this whole Young T and Bugsey not getting paid for the biggest hit of their career? That'd be like Drake not getting paid for one dance. Like that is honestly insane. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. If you could like, comment, subscribe on the road to 2,000 subs. You already know what time it is. From my personal IG at theomalittyent. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there, because what else do you do in real life? Absolutely nothing, mate. I bet. Peace.
Well, you ain't know I could sing.